So we started with the prologue watering in 1995, where Mason Wilder was killed. And he was killed because he was about to reveal what has happened at the theater over the years, right? He was about to be like, yeah, me and the board, we were getting up to no good. And someone else took offense to that, right? They were like, he was going to destroy the theater, so I must kill him. Basically continuing the tradition of dealing with problems by getting rid of other people, right? So the theater will continue in their ways. So that's what's happened. And then we basically went back in time all the way to 1975 to the first ever play that was put on by the theater to find out from the start what was exactly that would happen, right? So on the opening night of their first play, the president of the board gets killed because a chandelier falls on him. And even though that seems like an accident, the kind of bit of information we get there is that the board decided not to spend time and money on improving the interior, right? They didn't do the renovations, so the light fixtures were not fixed, and therefore one champagne cork brings the chandelier down and kills him. And we learn some more about the various other relationships with people, right? Some actresses stealing Valium and taking them, then Mason and Dan having some sort of rivalry, or at least from Mason's side, he's like, oh, I want to be the big dude, but Dan is getting all the roles, I hate him. Then, chapter 2, someone dies once again, but this time due to a prank. Two separate people decide to do a prank. Dan is supposed to lose his trousers, but also a desk is supposed to fall into the orchestra stand. But by the combination of those two, the desk falls on the violinist and he dies. I'm fairly sure he didn't even deserve it. He didn't do anything. He wasn't involved in any of the drama. He was just playing his violin and he got killed. Of course, the people responsible decided to just stay quiet about it and got away with it, right? Because it was, again, Mason just getting involved, and it was Cassidy, who is now a famous Broadway musician, so she got away with it as well. And then we finish on Casimir, where no one died. No one died in this one, but instead, that was Cassidy's evil ploy, where she poisoned the existing conductor. Like, she gave her laxatives, and then set up a situation where she said, oh, actually, she's an alcoholic, she's drinking too much, so that she could take over as the new conductor. So, no murder, but still sabotage, right? So that's the kind of stuff they've been getting into so far. Today we're going into Swally Tom, the mad cobbler of Toad Road, which I assume is supposed to be Sweeney Todd, but, you know, legally distinct. Yeah, I wonder how the theater managed to stay open after all those murders. Yeah, well, clearly they're good at covering it up so far. So let's see what happens in 1980 in Swally Tom. Okay, so we've got Mason. He's kind of the main character, I guess, because he's the one that dies at the start, to kind of saying, like, I'm gonna reveal everything, right? So we've been sort of following his story. At last, my all has made me whole again. I am not sure what all means. Is it some sort of weird English word? Is it the spiky thing he's holding? I guess we may be able to work it out. Takeover support. Yeah, me, Cass, Ronna, Jackie. All a tool for poking holes in that. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense that that is the thing he's holding then, because it's a spiky thing for poking holes. Poking holes with people this time around. Nay, Charles, Carol, Hank, Antonia, undecided, Suelin. So Charles, I think, refers to Charles Gibson, the current board president, who's a goat. You may be able to recognize him once you see him. Not sure we know about Suelin yet. I do have a sheet of, like, I took a screenshot of the previous characters just to the side, because this game does do that idle thing of, like, please renamed all of those characters. So, you know, to help me remember what I've learned last time, I took some names from the previous streams, just so I'm not too confused. Okay, so I assume this is for the play that he's been doing the poking. This is not real. Like, this character appears to be breathing, so he's not really been stabbed. I assume this is Dan Pratterly, the rival of Mason. But yes, there is nothing here to inspect. I guess just for us to see that he's not dead, right? This isn't the murder we are looking for. This is just the actual play. So here we've got Cassidy, the new conductor, right? She got the old conductor fired for being fake alcoholic. And now she's the conductor, and she's doing her conducting. Cass, all the pieces are in place. Sheila and Todd have done their part. And Robert will leave the note for our last holdout. After she turns on Charles, a leadership role for me on the board is inevitable. I finally have Rona's support too. I had to bribe her with a promise to put her kids in a show, but small matter. I know you've been anxious about tonight, but lay that aside and focus on conducting a brilliant show. We're flashing out an old guard that doesn't understand the true power of art. We'll frame a new destiny for this theater, and you and I will be at the center of it. Break legs and stab bags, a la Swally Tom tonight. Theatrically yours, Mason. Okay, so yes, previously Mason and Cassidy have been working together in their evil schemes, and it seems they're continuing, right? They're going after Charles. They're going after Charles, the current board president. And I guess Mason has his eyes set on the board position. It has been said before. It was just that Dan got there before him, and that got him mad as well. So he's going for him. Speaking of art, are you making progress on the final puzzle in Escape Simulator 2? I've put it aside, to be honest. Like, as much as it seemed like a big fun thing to solve, like the amount of Googling required, there is no, like, I no longer consider it a puzzle in that sense, right? Because it only relies on me lackling into Googling the right picture with the right arches. So right now, it's not something I'm looking into. Maybe if there are more updates to the game, I will go back and have another look. But yeah, I mean, I have other games that I'm playing, and I don't really have times for several more hours of Google and hoping that I stumble upon the pictures. So that's where it's at. Maybe one day. Or maybe, you know, maybe if there's an update to the game, I'm gonna be like, well, the pictures are not really the puzzle, because the pictures are just Googling, and then I can see if I can just find out what the pictures are, then we can do the puzzle part, which is putting the characters where they need to go, right? But we'll see, we'll see. Yeah, back to this. Ousting Charles is what they're doing this time. We've got some audience members that are selectable. What's taking him so long? Okay, so they're expecting something to happen. They say nothing. Rona, I fear the rumors are true, and that nasty truths about our beloved leader will soon come to light. Knowing you have my back helps the blow. Soften the blow. If I am to take the helm of the ship, I promise to guide it to safety and stability soon. And I'll find roles for the boys next season. Okay, so this is Rona. That Mason is bribing into things. Is she here? Do we have to name her? No. Oh, spoilers, Charles might be dead or something. Okay, but we don't have to name Rona. I'm scared. It's not as scary as that old ghost-looking lady. Okay, those are the kids, potentially. Or there are just some other kids that are scared. Any more audience? Well, there's a bag on the chair. An unattended purse. Admit one ticket and a note. Mrs. Prescott, at exactly 9:15 tonight, your board president will step out of the performance to take part in a highly illicit drug deal on the rooftop of the theater. He has hidden his addiction well for many years, but it has finally gotten the better of him. If you care about this theater and your family's legacy, I urge you to follow him and see for yourself. Sincerely, a friend of the arts. Okay, so Mrs. Prescott might be someone who's like funding the theater, right? Because it's like, you know, if you care about this theater and your family legacy, so she might be putting money in for the arts, and they're saying, trying to frame Charles for this time being on drugs, right? The conductor was an alcoholic and Charles is supposedly on drugs. And she's not here, right? She's left her bag and she's not here. So that means she's actually gone and went to look for him, more likely. Okay, we've also got this guy. I prefer the ones with the dancing girls. Okay, he's got some. Yeah, this bag contains a white powdery substance, which is of course just some like chalk or, you know, talc powder, just to, you know, he has to deal with ropes and stuff like that, so better grip, of course, is very important. Nothing illicit is happening here. Please don't be alarmed by the white powdery substance. It's all fine. We've seen him before. He had like a weird name, where he has two first names. Yes, his name is Todd or something like that. Okay, that might be all for this screen. We can go to the side. Oh, Charles is dead. He is. The man is dead, yes. I think this is Charles because he's the GOAT, and I assume they've been kind of selective not to make the main characters all the same animals, so it's easier to tell. Proof of infidelity? $500, 9:15 p.m. opening night, rooftop. Okay, so they've potentially discovered that Charles was having an affair, which I guess is not enough to get him in trouble to resign from the theater, but it's enough to get him on the roof exchanging money with someone that they then make look like a drug deal, but instead somehow he's fallen off the roof. Did he do it himself? Was he pushed? We will find out. Okay, so this is the Birch Tree Theater newsletter, spring 1980. Art can grow in the unlikeliest of places. We jump. Yeah, we may need that word, who knows? Into the 80s by taking a stab, literally, at the Stephen Storkham masterpiece Swally Tom. This thrilling musical about a despondent shoe repairman turned killer will be our most challenging endeavor to date. But we are in good hands with Mason Wilder in the title role and Cassidy Hillard conducting the dark operatic score. This summer we'll be mounting the beloved classic Samson and his marvelous multicolored hair. Auditions will be held June 7th and 8th. Please bring sheet music in the correct key. I also feel obliged to quell the rumors of our impending board shakeup. The board is a hearty mix of locals, young and old, who are invested in the future of our community, and I'm honored to be serving as president. The rumor about the theater being haunted, however, well, that one I can only hope isn't true. I am famously terrified of ghosts. Stay dry and try not to be clobbered by the mad cobbler this April. Sincerely, Charles Gibson. Yes. So we already know that this is Charles Gibson. We had to do that like several times before. We're good. And this is Mason Wilder. And this is Cassidy Hilliard. So we already know them. We also know this is Todd. And the peacock, the pig are new. I think the bunny rabbit we've seen before. We've seen a bunny rabbit, but she looked different. So she might be a different rabbit, or she just got some hair. I guess we'll see. We'll see where we can find her. Okay, we've got the pigman in the box office. What was that noise? Something out on the street? Yes, something out on the street for sure. What we got? A note. Please place the enclosed purple slip of paper in the ticket envelope for Mrs. Suellen Prescott. Okay, so that's how she gets that note. I've included a little something for your help as well as your silence. Okay, so they're bribing the box office worker to give her the note and not say anything. R. Boggs. Okay, so his name is something Boggs. We do have a Robert, so that may be him, but we'll see. What else? A portrait of an elegant lady. She may be the Prescott lady then, like if she's paying, like let's see the... Yes. Mamie Zephyr Prescott. Okay, but she's dead. So maybe her daughter or granddaughter. Beloved actress, devoted wife and mother, Mrs. Prescott, nee Marjorie Ellen Clott, born less than 5 miles from this very spot, was a prominent actress in Hollywood's silent movie era. She was renowned for her starring roles in Sugar Factory and Hands Down, as well as lesser roles in Oh Dear Me and The Moon Story. After marrying automotive tycoon Ralph Xavier Prescott in 1929, she returned to our city and helped erect the Birch Tree Cinema, which was active until a few years after her death. The dormant theater was revitalized by the city council in 1975 and rechristened the Birch Tree Theater. Mamie's only child, Suellen, remains an active member of the theater's board of directors to this day. Okay, so it's gonna be Suellen Prescott, the daughter, I guess, the woman that they wrote that note to, being like, oh yeah, the board director's taking drugs. Okay, so where else can we go? Okay, here's the roof. So that's her. Charles, I know you're out here. Okay, so she came here, but she didn't push Charles. If she's just saying, I know you're out here. Okay, so we can say in here that she is Suellen Prescott. There is trash can. T. Because you seem confused, I will spell it out plainly. Step 1, buy drugs, not grass. With the enclosed money, any leftover cash is yours. Step 2, a few hours before opening night, put the drugs in an envelope and plant them on the rooftop. Somewhere they can easily be spotted. Step 3, destroy this note. Thanks for your continued help. More to come, M. Okay, so T, I assume, is Todd, the kind of backstage guy. Again, we've seen him before. We know he is entirely open to being bribed to do terrible things, right? Because basically he was partially responsible for the desk falling incident. So that was him, and the bag with the thing may have been drugs. So I was trying to be like, totally not drugs, but you know, it might be. And yes, totally terrible at destroying this note. Putting it in the bin at the crime scene is not destroying it, right? Anyone can find this. Okay, and then there's the envelope, and there's a cane, I assume, from Charles. I don't remember if he had a cane, but it might be his. There are drugs in the envelope. Okay, again, because Todd just took a little bit for himself. There are still drugs in here. Okay, so she didn't push him. She came here and he was already gone. She's just saying like, I know you're here. So did he fall himself? Did someone else do it? We can go down as well. Okay, here's the rabbit lady. She hums to herself. Okay, she's reading something. Standing on the edge of a knife, dying just to live my life. Oh yeah, can you feel it? Okay, she's writing a song. Hear your footsteps down the hall. I sink with my heartbeats and I fall. For you, can you feel it? Oh God, is this Todd Chris? Todd Chris, yes, that's that guy's name. You're bod. You're bod. Your kiss. Todd Chris. Todd Chris. If I could sing, I would sing, but I can't sing, so you just have to listen to me read this out dramatically. Don't go. Not yet. Romeo. Juliet. I would die. I would kill. I would do it all for this. Todd Chris. Okay, well, I know Todd Chris is this guy. So, let's get that all filled in. What else she got here? Concerned about her mental health. I mean, she looks, you know, a bit emo, and she got something. She might be the same wardrobe rabbit we had last time. She just went from kind of looking a bit, you know, normal, just no interesting clothes, to now she's looking a bit more alternative and all that stuff. Bit emo or something. Dearest Sheila, thank you so much for your favor, darling. I do the alteration myself, but time just seems to fly right out the window these days. Please repair the sleeve hems and bring the waistline in where I pinned it. I so adore the work of Stockham. This will be perfect opportunity to don Mommy's iconic dress. I can even have her necklace too. 1,000 mercies, love, Sulan. Okay, yeah, this is Sheila the wardrobe rabbit, because I think that was her name. Yeah, my problem with singing is that I can't hear. Like, I am very much tone deaf, so it's the problem of like, I only have a vague idea about the fact that I'm singing terribly, but I can't do it. Like, we discussed this last time. Like, people can sing to music and they're like, oh yes, if you hear a note, you can sing the same note. I'm like, I have absolutely no idea how those two concepts are connected. What do you mean sounds can be the same? Especially if they're made with different things, right? It's one thing to have the same note played on the piano, but the same note on like the piano and voice? Like, how does this work? Hard truth. New code, last names. 1 Wednesday TP, 2 Saturday alts, 3 Tuesday TP, 4 Sunday labs. Hard truth, something something. Exclusive code, breaking tips, UFOs. The fact that Uncle Sam thinks you can't handle. Bonus, interview with a bog monster. Okay, I assume this will be important. This Wednesday TP, Saturday alts. So let's remember that, because there will be some codes. Last names. There might be a list with names. Okay. What else? She's got this here. Synthpunk, new wave, and heavy metal show with Sheila and the Fair Minions? Piss Gator. Lady Bird Johnson and the Phlegm. Friday, 18th of April. Carpet Bagger Bar. Okay, she's getting it, like, she's got a band. She's performing. That's why the different look. Again, I love when bands are called things like Piss Gator. Who comes up with that? Puzzlecraft. Obscure the message. Ratman from the Moon. The Stitcher's Handbook. Okay, is there obscured message in those books, since it says obscure the message? Cryptology and cryptanalysis decoded. A matter of secrecy. The art and science of synthesizers. Visitors by Chuck Bongo. Okay, some of them have names on them, like author names. I guess I'll need couple. No, 3 of them. Lyrics by Otto Owenstein. So we have Owenstein, Bongo, Gooding. Suspicious. We'll see. Okay. There is a diary with a code, so I assume we gotta figure out how to get into it. Okay, what else? Ah, there we go. We've got some names, so that may be it. Swally Tom, wardrobe schedule, Sheila Dittmeyer. Yes, that was her name. There we go. Okay, so we don't have all the words yet, but I assume this guy might be Robert then, because he was Arbogs and we have a Robert here. But let's collect all the words first, just in case. So we have Prep Week Tuesday. I bet the code is Todd. Maybe. She seems to have a little thing for Todd. In case you didn't notice, in case that, song was a bit too saddle. She seems to like Todd. Labels, Al McGalley, Alteration, Anderson, Harmon, Nash. Okay, we're getting lots of names that I'm not sure we need. Okay, so it was something on Wednesday. Okay, on Wednesday and Tuesday it was TP. Track plotting. So from Tuesday track plotting, it's Nash, so the letter is N. Because it said last names. And we're looking for just the letters. So then we have Wednesday labels, Scarpet, Nash, Alterations, McEllie, and track plotting Harmon. So from Wednesday we want again track plotting. So that's Harmon, H. Then Thursday we don't want anything. Friday she was off. Come to Sheila's show. Saturday, it's alterations. So she was doing alterations for Anderson, so that's A. And then on Sunday, we're looking at labs. So labels for Scarbet, so that S. So it's Hans, the password. Let's see. And that's not all the letters in this thing. H. N-S. Hans. Yay! We did it. We cracked it. Okay, she's got some tapes and a note. Sheila, thank you for lending your technical wizardry to this diversion. You are doing your part to ensure a bright future for this little theater we care so much about. Enclosed are 2 tapes. The black one has the original message, and the green one is blank for you to do your vocoder magic. The altered message should be understandable, but make sure my voice is not recognizable. One day before opening, call Mr. Gibson with your device and play the tape. Replay it if necessary, but do not speak. Afterwards, burn both tapes and this message. Again, burn both tapes. What was unclear? If you can't burn them immediately, keep them under lock and key until you can. Okay. That would explain why they're in here and not burned. Thank you, Sheila. The wardrobe supervisor position suits you. I look forward to continuing our long and fruitful friendship. Theatrically yours, Mason. Yes, Mason is just manipulating everyone, right? Because he's like, oh yeah, if you do this for me, I'll get your kids in the play. If you do this for me, you'll be wardrobe supervisor. If you do all that, right? So Mason is really quite the manipulator here. Okay, so we've got a tape. So what was it? The black is the original and the green is the message that they're going to play over the phone. I assume to Charles, right? That's how they got him on the roof?
Charles Gibson, listen carefully. You don't know me, but consider me an ally. I have information you will find valuable. Namely, information regarding an affair your wife has been conducting for over a year. I will supply you with details and proof of her infidelity, including the name of the man with whom she's been cuckolding you for the sum of $500. Meet me on the rooftop of the Birch Tree Theater at exactly 9:15 p.m. during the opening night performance of Swoley Tom. Bring cash. Do not tell anyone about this message, else I'll destroy the evidence and never contact you again. Goodbye for now.
Ooh, okay. So I was there thinking, you know, Charles was a bit sussy because he was having an affair, so they were blackmailing him with that. But no, Charles did nothing wrong. They literally lied to him and were like, your wife is having an affair, you wanna know? You wanna know about that? $500. And actually we're gonna make it seem like you're buying drugs. So, poor Charles. And now the green cassette, which is the altered or like the voice changed message.
Charles Gibson, listen carefully. You don't know me, but consider me an ally. I have information you will find valuable. Namely, information regarding an affair your wife has been conducting for over a year. I will supply you with details and proof of her infidelity, including the name of the man with whom she's been cuckolding you for the sum of $500. Meet me on the rooftop of the Birch Tree Theater at exactly 9:15 p.m. during the opening night performance of Swoley Tom. Bring cash. Do not tell anyone about this message, else I'll destroy the evidence and never contact you again. Goodbye for now.
Okay, so it's just the voice altered message. So, okay, so that's all the clues. It's 39 out of 39. And by that, I'm going to go that Boggs' first name is Robert, because it's R. And yes, that's all the names. Here, we just have the, who were the names? So actually, I need the whole names to fill in the thing, even though I already got the code and cracked the thing. So we have H for Wednesday, Harmon. Saturday, Anderson. Tuesday, Nash. And Sunday, Scarbet. So we just need to enter that down here. So Wednesday TP is Harmon. What would have happened if he hadn't believed and hadn't gone up to the roof? Well, he wouldn't be dead, right? And then the woman would just gone up there. And I mean, she could have found the envelope with the drugs, right? But she wouldn't have any proof that it was Charles. So I guess the plan wouldn't have worked. But I guess Charles doesn't trust his wife enough to consider that all a lie. Right? That's the kind of thing, right? If someone called you and was like, your partner's having an affair, pay us money to find out the details, would you believe them? Or would you be like, no, this is a scam? I should not believe. Okay, so someone and someone conspired to do something to someone. So I think it was Mason for sure, because Mason is the perpetrator of many of those things. Now, he conspired with quite a few people, right? But I guess with Cassidy, because that was the letter of like, oh, don't worry about it, we're doing it. Conspired to... something. Well, basically they're trying to get rid of Charles. bribeful frame jam. Yeah, frame Charles, yes. Using someone something, they send a victim anonymous message. Okay, so using Sheila Dittmeyer's vocoder, they send the victim an anonymous message claiming to having information about their wife's infidelity. The message said to meet them on the rooftop during the performance for more information. Someone was paid to slip a note. It was Robert Boggs. Was paid to slip a note to Suellen Prescott with their ticket, which tipped them off about Charles Gibson buying drugs on the rooftop. Todd Chris was enlisted to plant the false evidence. Yes, if my partner was actually having an affair and someone asked for me for money to tell them anything about it, I'd ask her about it first. Yes, I mean, that seems like the solution, right? You go to them and you're like, so what's that about? I mean, obviously they may not admit it at first, but that seems like a cheaper and more straightforward solution rather than dealing with blackmailers. Like, what are you gonna know? And especially, I mean, this is in the olden days, right? But this day and age, like, as far as you know, anything they send you could be fake AI generated nonsense. So, you know, I'm sure there are scams all about that stuff where they send you random things. Suellen Prescott didn't pop into this box here. Okay, that's that. On the rooftop, I assume. Charles Gibson got what? Scared when he saw someone because he thought it was the... Oh, okay. Interesting. I'm not sure how we were supposed to get that because it seems like... Oh, okay, I know how we're supposed to get that. So in the newsletter, it says he's scared of ghosts, right? He's like, I'm terrified of ghosts. The theater better not be haunted. And then she specifically has a thing about, oh, I'm gonna wear the dress my mother wore and all that stuff, right? So when she comes to the roof, she looks like her deceased mother. And so Charles thinks that she's a ghost. So on the rooftop, Charles Gibson got scared when he saw Suellen Prescott because he thought it was the ghost of her mother causing him to fall, I'm gonna say, to the street and die. There we go. Solved it. Seeing his former mentor and roadblock to his own ambitions, Mason Wilder conspired to frame Charles Gibson for drug possession. To get him in contact with the false evidence, he used Sheila Dittmeyer's audio equipment to send Charles a fake anonymous tip about his wife having an affair. He also planted a note for board member Suellen Prescott to tip her off about the supposed drug deal. When Suellen went to the rooftop to confront Charles, he got frightened because he thought she was the ghost of her mother and accidentally fell to his death. So, not murder, but again, assisted. They've assisted the situation to cause his death, right? And even without the murder, it's already like, you know, defrauding people, right? Like you're saying him bring $500 for things that don't exist, evidence that don't exist, and then you're planting drugs and all that stuff. Also pretty illegal, I'm fairly sure. So once again, Mason and Cassidy doing crimes. Yes, they are evil, evil people. So that's fun. Okay. The Prairie Chronicle, solicitor on the roof. Theater goers were shocked on Friday when Charles Gibson, 66, was found dead outside of the Birch Tree Theater following a performance. I thought he was a part of the play, said theater goer Lynn Hilty. Like, maybe it's third act or sequel or something, but then we realized something horrible had happened. Mr. Gibson allegedly left the performance to purchase 2 ounces of cocaine on the rooftop. Oh no, they actually made that one stick. So in his death, his name is stained because the drugs were on the roof. So they're like, yep, he was doing it. It's unclear what happened on the roof, but somehow Gibson fell to his death. Police believe the incident to be drug-related, either at the hands of the seller or self-inflicted. Gibson had written a note with some pretty delusional thoughts. He wasn't thinking clearly, said an officer close to the case. Mr. Gibson was a beloved local figure who taught English at the GNU for over 30 years before retiring in 1977, and had since served as the president of the Birch Tree Theater Board of Directors. The Birch Tree Theater community, no stranger to tragedy, was rocked by Gibson's death and the revelations that surfaced. He was a great mentor to me, said shaken Mason Wilder, who caused his death, currently playing the title role in Swally Tom. I had heard the rumors of his drug use, but like so many others, I just didn't want to believe it. I wish I could have done something, but the best way to honor him now is to put our hearts into this theater that he loved so much. The show must go on, and so will the legacy of Charles Gibson. So yes, Charles's only crime, it wasn't a crime, but obviously that's how Mason saw it, was that anytime Mason said, oh, I want a good role, I want to be on the board, I want this, I want that, Charles was just like, oh, don't worry about it, your time will come, and other people were getting ahead. So Mason took that personally, and he was like, well, you won't give me what I want? Well, how about I frame you and kill you? Oh, so poor Charles. He did not deserve. But show must go on, and so we move on to A Night Among the Stars, a gala fundraiser celebrating 7 years of Birch Tree musicals. Mason Wilder, director, and Cassidy Hillard, music director. Cocktail hour followed by dinner and live cabaret performances in 1982. So this is chapter 5 of the theater shenanigans. Okay. Multiple people might be dead, because we have this lady, the woman, is dead. Is it the same peacock lady we just saw? Immediately forgets her name. And then also this lady, the woman, is dead. Okay, we're ramping up the murder. 2 at a time. What are they up to this time? There's lots of people to click. This is the poster we've just seen. Yes, that gives us the name of Mason and Cassidy. I assume we have to fill them in again. Oh, I guess this time we don't. I guess this time there's enough other people that we finally don't have to be filling in Mason and Cassidy every single time. Okay, well, Cassidy is here. She's hissing. She hissing. At least I assume that's her. Looks like her. But nothing more about her. Mr. Turtle looking pretty surprised. And the drummer dog as well. Okay. Who else we've got? We've got him. Oh god, somebody help her. Okay. Oh, damn. She's got a bag. Hairpin. A bag of weed. Okay. A label of some sort. It's damaged, so it's difficult to read. Nat. L. Something with P at the start. A piece of tape is stuck to the inside of the purse. It reads Carmine and a phone number. Okay, that might be her name then. It's like she labeled her purse. And she's also dropped her cigarette on the ground. Peanut oil, huh? Yeah. That would be, I think, a good guess for the letters we can see. And as we know, allergen for any people, right? So if someone's got a peanut allergy, a peanut oil would be a way to get rid of them. Yes, she dropped her cigarette, but we can't click on that. We've got Todd. T. I compromised the plan by trying to loop Cassidy in. She is not in favor of you-know-what, so looks like we're resorting to plan B. It's cleaner anyway. Natural causes and all that. We just need to be creative with how we get it to her. Apparently it's locked up. Don't want to say much more. We'll discuss in person. I should have known Cassidy wouldn't understand. She's brilliant, but doesn't recognize that compromises have to be made to enact real change. The theater needs me, and I deserve to be its leader. Thanks for being with me on this. As always, destroy this note. As always, he did not. Don't worry, I'll fill Sheila in. I know things are awkward between you. Okay, so Sheila and Todd, not working out. She wanted it to work out, but Todd is like, listen, girl, you're too obsessed. It's too much. You need to chill. Okay, but whatever Mason's after this time, Cassidy didn't want to do it, so that's why she's hissing. She's like, she's looking at him because he's here and she's here, and she's hissing because like, you did that thing I told you not to do. So he's here. He's got some notes. Dearest Mr. Weidel. Yeah, this is from Sue Ellen because that was her font last time. Thank you so much for asking me to sing at this wonderful event celebrating my mother's theater. I shall be, as the French say, merveilleux? I don't know what the French say. If I may make one request, could you please ask Mr. Chris to refrain from smoking during the event? I do find cigarette smoke, along with Mr. Chris's personality, to be quite taxing on the nerves. Even Mr. Linder's smoke was bothersome to me during soundcheck, wafting all the way from his mixing console. Please pass my request along. You are much better at speaking to the laboring class than I. Wow, lady. Sorry, I'm finding this font a bit hard to read. I guess I could do this to be able to read easier, but then you can't click on the words when you have the this open. Love Suellen. Yes, she's the peacock lady that's currently dead. Right, we can put that in. She is Suellen. Then we know this is... Okay, we don't have to do Cassidy. She's not there. This is Chris Todd. Todd Chris. Yes, Mr. Chris, so his first name is Todd. Okay, who else? We have someone's bag. Okay, personal information, Suellen Prescott. Yeah, that's her surname. She dead. 25 Montgomery Road. Medical conditions, high blood pressure, glaucoma, severe peanut allergy. Okay, she's the one with the peanuts and the allergy. Emergency contact, Colleen Prescott, Winsboro, daughter, and Dr. Warren Gustafson. Okay, but we don't care about their names. Okay. Achievement for reading the set list. Birch Tree Theater Gala set list. Birch Tree Medley. Maybe tonight. Abracadabulous. Somebody was told me. On with the show. Mason Wilder, of course. Welcome opening remarks. Do a little doodle. A sky so vast. I sung it all for you. Cornford. Saddlebred Gal. Carol Abson. We've seen Carol Abson before. She was like a secretary or something on the board, and I think her problem was that she would faint if there were loud noises. Not sure if it's relevant here, but that was the story so far. Yes, I guess the other lady also had a peanut allergy, so she's the collateral at this point. They're like, you know, what's one extra dead person? Dollars and innocence with me on your team. Don't want to come up. Sewell and Prescott, sailing, away we go. 2 roads, 1 path. The best of us, Cassidy Hilliard. Thank yous, closing remarks, dream for all, full company. Okay, that's just the songs. I mean, we get some extra names. Sewell, your singing is fantastic, darling. It is so meaningful that you're part of this. Just a few notes. Koala Porter intended for grandly to rhyme with Danley. I know it's a stretch, but lean into it and it will get a laugh. Keep it sultry. The goal of the song is to seduce. To borrow a showbiz term, eat the microphone. Literally, your lips should touch it. It will help with clarity and bring out the warmth in your voice. That's all. Knock 'em dead. Mason. Oh, they put peanut oil on the microphone? And that's how she dies? Because he's like, basically lick it, please. So the oil we put on it will get on your face and you die. Okay, this guy saying nothing, but he's got some notes. Hey, dog. What's the new code for the supply closet? Was hoping to pregame. I know that it's 5 digits long, but that's all I remember. Ginny. Clue on the solution page has been updated. Okay, there is some sort of... Well, we have to do something with this, I assume, to open the supply closet. We'll see what it is. And yeah, oh, okay. Oh no, it's the table. Who sat where? Okay. So this is who sat where, but people were switched. Potentially. WSTC. Okay. We'll see. Okay, we have this lady. This, I think, might be Carol Upton. She looks familiar. Request for table 1. Cassidy likes Antonia. Wants to sit between her and Mason. Sewell close to stage, as far away from Todd as possible. Also, she'd prefer to eat after performing, so she can... So can her food come out later? Todd, between Mason and his girlfriend. Rona, seated with Frank. Doesn't want to be next to another board member. Antonia wants to be seated to the left of the board president. Her good ear side. Okay. So this will be important for the seating plan. Anyone else? I don't think anything else here is clickable, but we have other rooms. There are 43 clues to collect total in this one, so there is more to go. Okay, here's the guy with the mixing deck. Holy shit! Hi Matt, can you wipe down the microphones between songs? I know it's a pain in the ass, but some of the singers are germophobes, okay. Or, you know, we want to remove the peanut oil. But I guess maybe it didn't work. Birch Tree, okay, so this is just the song order, we've seen it. Hello Julia, welcome. A spray bottle labeled microphone cleaner with a rag. Okay, so he has a cleaner, so it's not like he wasn't doing it at all. But maybe he wasn't doing it properly. Okay, so that's all that's here. So we know his name is Matt. And I think there was another... His surname was in a letter from Sewell. So Matt at the console here. And her letter was some... Oh, I didn't read all of the notes, as always forget. Yeah, Mr. Linder. Mr. Linder from the console. I keep doing that. I'm like, I read one note and I'm like, oh, there's information. Don't do it. I assume that's from Cassidy. And this note, hey boss, yeah, whatever you say. Crystal might be able to help with the lock problem. She's got a trick or two up her sleeve. Okay, that's from Todd. And Crystal, Crystal, what are you doing? What are you assisting with? Okay, so nothing more down here. And we've got, okay, here's the rabbit wardrobe lady writing more sad song. Did you want to dance, little girl? Did you take a chance, little girl? Oh, then you romance, little girl. That was never yours. Do you think he's fine, little girl, even though he's mine, little girl? Well, enjoy your wine, little girl. I'm setting the scores. Oh, did she do something evil as well? Belladonna, deadly drink. You're a goner. Down the sink. Disappear with no trace. Stupid dress, stupid face. Belladonna, bring him back to me. Writing a song to confess to your crimes? Okay, oh. So she's got a sitting plan and she goes like, okay, Todd's girlfriend is gonna be sitting here. But then on the waiter plan, there's a switch. So did she poison the wrong person? And there are different glasses and all that. So depending on drinks, people have different things. Okay. Okay. She got a little coffin purse. The torn out encyclopedia page reads here, Belladonna, literally translated as beautiful lady, also known as the deadly nightshade, is a toxic perennial herbaceous plant. Because the foliage and berries are extremely toxic when ingested, the use of it as poison dates back to ancient Rome, where it is rumored to have been used to murder Emperor Augustus. It's still regarded as one of the most toxic plants on Earth. Yeah, and she got the vial contains an unknown substance. Probably belladonna. And her little purse. Okay, here the napkin reads, plan aborted. We'll figure something else out. Thanks for sourcing the beautiful lady, but we don't need her right now. Okay, so she got the belladonna for Mason because it says M. And he's like, oh yeah, don't need it. Got peanut oil instead. But she still uses it on Todd's girlfriend, maybe? Another round, Miss Dittmeyer. Yes, that's her. Chaz. I told you to not give Ginny the new code. I replenished the stash yesterday, but she must have smoked it all because now it's gone. Dog. Okay, so the stash for the weed. Okay, this is Birch Tree Theater presents dinner, cabaret, performers. Okay, we get the board. Okay, Susan Prescott, president. That's why. I was like, why is he murdering Susan Prescott? What did she do, right? What is happening? Oh, it's because after murdering Charles, Mason still didn't get to be president because Susan stepped in because, you know, I guess she's funding the whole place. And she was like, well, I guess I might be president. And Mason was like, well, I guess you must die. Because he just will not accept anything less than being president. But I guess this is where Cassidy was like, seriously? You're vice president now? Like, surely that's fine. You don't need to go and murder every single person. But he was like, I must. Yes, Carol, absent secretary, Rona, Herdin, treasurer, Todd Chris, Cassidy Hillard, Jackie Hart, Scott Rose, and Antonia Sweet. Special thanks to Gary Diamarco and the Lakeside Tavern for hosting this event. The restaurant has proudly served the community since 1951 and would be honored to host your next event. Okay, so we're not at the theater now, we're at the restaurant. The Birch Tree Theater is not for profit community organization. We rely on donations in order to mount quality production and keep our ticket prices low. For more information or making tax-deductible donations, please speak to the Birch Theater board member. Yes. They are a community theater. There isn't even like a big money thing involved because it's all just a local charity-run little theater. Yes, Todd Chris is on the actual board. The stoner tech guy from the backstage is now on the board because, you know, he's been helping with all the murders, so Mason has to basically keep him happy, right? Because he's got all the dirt. Lakeside Tavern, welcome patrons of the Birch Tree Theater, special cocktails, Swally Tom Collins, Birch Tree Old Fashioned, Tequila Ivories, beer or wine also available. Okay, there's different cocktails, and we know there are different glasses. I don't know whether we're supposed to work out who was having what, possibly not. Bottles. I assume down, okay, down from here is yet another room, so it's not to the sound guy. Chrissy, pre-game at the usual time and place. Remember, the first two numbers are the year the restaurant was founded. Can you tell Ginny? Just don't tell Dog I said that. Okay, first two numbers are the year restaurant was founded, which we just read. Over here, it was founded in 1951. Tavern founded. Okay. We're gonna be breaking into that stash real soon. Okay, this is it. But I assume it's more than just 1951, right? Yeah. No, that we need to know more. Let's move, people. This is high-profile event, so don't lose steam on me now. Okay, he's managing the kitchen. Whistles. Hella, Ernesto. Thanks for the hookup, hermano. Our stash is in the supply closet. Feel free to partake. There's a new code. The middle digit is the number of seats at the bar. Ask around for the others. Okay, so yes, it's 1951 for the founding. Oh, the first two numbers are the year. Okay, so it might just be 51, not 1951. Take out the 19. Then the middle is the number of seats at the bar. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If I can count, which, you know, is not always the case. A label reads, warning, do not attempt to submerge the appliance, unplugged or otherwise, for any reason, else risks danger of electrocution and death. Okay, I don't think anyone was electrocuted. But I guess it just adds extra words to our board, so we have to shuffle through them. Yes, sir. Okay, she got desserts. Ginny, screw dog. I don't think you're a weed hog. Still. Piecing together new code, only part I remember is that last two digits are the year that Gary's daughter was born. Gary's daughter. Who's Gary? I mean, I guess we have a calendar, so that may help. Okay, it's May 1982. It's Birch Tree Theater Gala today. Gracie's 10th birthday. Okay, that might be it. GNU alum event. Knights of Impala Memorial Branch. Okay, so if it's Jeannie's 10th birthday, she was born in 72. I think. So it's 51872. 51872. There we go. We're in the stash. Pest X. A box of poison intended for pests. Yep. An unlabeled container of oil. Oh, well, I guess we've seen the label in someone's purse. It's probably the peanut oil. Peanut butter, peanuts. Wow, it's a whole allergy cabinet. Jar of peanut butter and a container of peanuts. Chaz. Yeah, the stash box is empty. Yes, they have taken out everything. So, it's all gone. Okay, so that's 42 out of the 43 clues. So I just have one thing. I did not click somewhere. Because I am like that. Did the stream skip? Because it just gave me a, oh, your connection's bad warning. But then it returned to normal. So hopefully it's all good now. But if something skipped, let me know. But yes, I was just saying they emptied the stash and we've got 42 out of 33 clues. So just have to hand down some one extra thing I did not click on, because as we learned last time, even if like the top level thing is red for clicked on, sometimes inside there can be an unclicked thing, because this game just do be like that. So I've clicked all of those. Okay, we can zoom that in. Okay, that's all clicked. That's nothing further in here. She just hissing. She dead. We've clicked on all this. Ah, she's got another note. Dear Mrs. Upson, thank you for your correspondence regarding the Birch Tree Theater Gala on May 8th. Rest assured, we take patrons' allergies very seriously, so I'll personally log the kitchen's peanut items in our utility closet on the morning of the event. I guarantee that the chance for food and drink contamination is 0%. You didn't count on Sabotage. On a personal note, the Birch Tree productions of Swallyton was one of the most thrilling nights I've spent in the theater, so I greatly look forward to hosting your event at the Lakeside Tavern. Was it the most thrilling because of the performance, or was it the most thrilling because the president fell off the roof? Feel free to call me with any further questions. Gary Diamarco. Okay, so now we have all the clues. So, she, here in the corner, her name is Upson Carol. This is Sheila Dittmeyer. This is Todd Chris, we know him. And then those are the new people that we need to deal with. He's the guy from the kitchen, so he might be the owner, the Diamarco. What did he say? Is Gary Diamarco, because, you know, he's the best dressed in that kitchen, and he's like, oh yes, make sure you're all doing things properly. Then we have this guy here that's upset at the other person dying. We have an alligator lady, the dead woman, this lady that's sitting next to Todd, so that might be Todd's girlfriend. And yes, the alligator lady sitting here. So yes, I guess we gotta work out the seating plan. That's how we know. So he's got this with like the shortcuts for like STC, W, STC, TI, BTOF, BTOF, like R, and so it doesn't feel like they're shortcuts for people's names fully, right? There's something else. Because she's also got marked it up. Yeah, it could be cocktails. Good thinking, because yeah, we have STC, yeah, BTOF, tequila. Okay. So, we have the Swally Tom Collins, which is gin, lemon juice, cranberry juice, Prosecco. A Prosecco cocktail, I would expect it to be served in like a tall glass, right? Because typically bubbly things would be self-served tall glass. But I'm sure we can also further work that out from some other information, maybe? Because yeah, there is tall glass with a stem, right? So that would be my highest thing for like, if it was a Prosecco cocktail, that would be what it's served in. But then there are other glasses as well. There is like a pink cocktail with ice. So that's probably important. She's having like a red thing. So that might be just red wine, because I think they said there was red wine. Because on this thing, there is a W, which could be just wine on that one. Let's see. Then there's also a short glass cocktail with ice. And there is something that looks more like a martini glass with a stirrer. So what else is here? There is the Birch Tree Old Fashioned. So the BTOF. Again, on my guesses on cocktails, I would think an Old Fashioned would be served in a short, like a tumbler glass. Yes, like a short, wider glass, right? So the short glass with ice. Tequila Blanco, Irish cream liqueur, coffee black licorice. Well, I'm not sure of the glass for it, but that looks like it would be a dark cocktail, right? Brown to black. But I'm not sure. Interesting, because one of them is pink and one of them is brown. What's in the Old Fashioned? But it has like walnut, simple syrup, orange bitter, smoked birch bark garnish. It does sound quite brown, that one. Maybe no one is having the tequila. But what's the pink one then? Because this one is gin, lemon juice, cranberry juice, Prosecco. So actually this one could be pink, the Swally Tom Collins, right? If it has cranberry juice in it, it would turn it pink. So it could be the tall glass with the pink stuff instead of like a more of a champagne flute. I'm not sure this is the logic we're supposed to use for this. It seems quite of a stretch one. But let's see. So on this, okay, so two people are, I guess we can work it out by who's having what, right? Like whether the things are repeated. Because we have two BTOFs, 2 spaces away from each other. And we have 2 STCs with a W in between. And then there's an R, but that's swapped. So R could be red wine, which is what the dead lady would be having. If that's it. But does that then 2 pink ones could be the 2 STCs, and then white wine in between, which would be this little glass here. White wine. So that would align, because yes, that would be the white wine. Then the STC pink here. The red wine, which is swapped, so the dead lady is having the red wine. Then the person next to her is having the BTOF. Then bourbon in this one. So Todd is having some bourbon, so he's just having like a generic glass or something. And then another BTOF for Mr. Wilder. And then the tequila in this martini glass, as I called it. It's probably called something else. I'm not like educated on cocktails all that much. So that I think makes sense. In terms of which cocktail is which. So the STC is the pink. The tequila espresso martini, yeah, that makes sense. So the BTOF is the short stubby glass with ice. Yes. The W is white wine. And R is red wine. Do I need to know this? I don't know, but I'm writing it out. Yes, the tequila is this glass, and then like bourbon or whatever is just the short stubby glass, no ice. But on this solve, we have to do actual names. So yes, we can see here who's where in terms of the drinks as well. So if we go by this, we know this is Mason Wilder, so he's sitting here with this cocktail. So we can put his name here. Wilder, Mason is here. And so he's sitting next to Todd, so we can put Todd, Chris, Todd, Chris. Every time. It's like, what? Which way is your name? Next to Todd Chris, I think it's his new girlfriend. That's why Sheila's so upset. And then we had the seating requests, right? She was saying she doesn't want to be... She wants to be as far away from Chris as possible, which I guess would put her the opposite. And obviously her chair is empty and there's a bag on it, and here's her medical information as well. So it makes sense that she was sitting at this top seat. So here is Sewell and Prescott at the top with the white wine. I think this seat here, this empty seat with the tequila, that's Cassidy's seat. Because while she's here playing the piano for this performance, I think they were all sitting down and then coming up to do their performances, right? So she might be sitting here, but she's temporarily on stage. So Cassidy, and I mean, if she would be sitting next to Mason, makes sense since they were sort of in a relationship, at least for some of this time. And, you know, an evil relationship where they plot against other people. So here's the woman that dies, and then whoever is next to her, this man. So it's just the fact of how do we work out who they are. I assume we have their names, right? They were named. It's just where is the relevant information? He doesn't say anything useful. She's just dead. She's just like, oh damn. Yes, he's spoken to Cassidy. She doesn't want to do it. Yeah, don't worry, I'll fill Sheila in. I know things are awkward between you, yes. Because the plan with Sheila was to use the belladonna to do the poison, but I guess then they found out about the peanut allergy, so they were like, let's do the peanuts, because then it's less suspicious, right? Like, if she dies of peanut oil, that's less suspicious than she swallowed actual poison. But that doesn't tell us about other people / his girlfriend. Yes, she's got the peanut oil. Oh, but she's got the Carmine label, so that's her name potentially. So her name is Carmine something. and therefore she's sitting here next to Todd. So that's happening. She's got... Okay, she's got the sitting plan as well. Cassidy likes Antonia, wants to sit between her and Mason. Okay, so we know Cassidy's here next to Mason, so Antonia is the crocodile slash alligator lady. So we can give her the name, at least the first name, and then put that on the seating plan as well. Further on, Suolin, close to the stage, as far away from Todd as possible. Yeah, we got her down. Eat after performing. Todd between Mason and his girlfriend. Yes, we knew that's his girlfriend. Rona seated with Frank. Doesn't want to be next to another board member. So, well, that leaves us with the dead lady at the table is Rona and he's Frank. So he is Frank, the surprised guy, and the dead lady is Rona. And she is sitting here with the spilled wine. And Frank next to her. So then she's not next to another board member because she's next to Todd's girlfriend. Did she have... There was a list of like the board members or whatever. Someone had something that named people further. Okay. We have this all thing. Yes, Antonia Sui. So that's the crocodile lady. Put that on her seat as well. Then Rona Herdin, the treasurer. So she's the dead lady. The treasurer got killed completely accidentally. Again, she did nothing wrong. Then we have to figure out what Carmine's last name is because she's not on the board. She's just Todd's girlfriend. And also Frank. Who is Frank? And what is he doing here? So she's got the song. She's writing about the belladonna. Oh, is that why? Okay. So I think the reason she dies is because this is swapped, right? Because Sheila is trying to poison Todd's girlfriend, but the waiter got the thing swapped, so when she puts the poison in the wine, thinking it's going to the girlfriend is incorrect and it goes to the treasurer, Rona. So Sheila did that. She is involved in yet another accidental death. Okay, so now what we have in terms of further names, because yeah, we have to get a surname for Carmine and a surname for Frank. So that we can solve both the names and the seating plan. Unfortunately, this game doesn't also have like being able to rearrange things at the bottom to, you know, like put away things we've already used. So we have DeMarco is the owner of the restaurant. Dittmeyer, no. Frank. There is unused Gary, but that might be just one of the people that works here. Herden used, Hillard used, Crystal. You not used. Hello, Firefly. Just jumping on the desk, causing trouble. Yep. Move the microphone. Move everything. Try to sit on me while I have my notebook out. Of course. So yes, we have a spare Gary, spare Crystal, spare Matt, Rona, Sheila, that's all used. Suelin, Todd, Upson, and Wilder. Yeah, she's here, but she's hiding on my lap. She's not going on her shelf right now. You wanna say hi? Or do you wanna just cause trouble? You gonna say hi? Yep. Get some pets. She's here for the pets. And the mischief. She would fit right in the theater. I'm sure she would swiftly plot to sabotage and assassinate someone if she was one of the members of the cast at the theater. Cause she evil like that. That's how I talk about you. So she may plan my murder later. Okay, so what is Frank's name? Because like he wouldn't really be part of like the restaurant crew, right? So they wouldn't be talking about him here. That's just all to do with the code. So I don't think that's relevant. He's talking to Dittmeyer. We've already used all of the names in here. So that's all done. So their names must be somewhere here. Were they performing in any way? No, there isn't a Frank performing. So they have nothing. Like, seriously, dude, don't you have like a ID on you? What's your surname? Unless they're like, you know, is he like the husband or something? So like when they say, oh, she was next to Frank, are they like named the same surname because they're together? Let's see. Seated with Frank, doesn't want to be next to another board member. Yeah, so could that be just her husband, basically? That's a potential. I'm willing to go with that assumption. Because otherwise Frank seems unmentioned. So let's try it. But then Carmine. We have her name. Does she work here? Right? Because like she knows about the weed and stuff. Like her and Todd got some. So is she one of the people that they talk about in like the staff notes about her being the hog? Chrissy, pregame at the usual time and place. You can't tell Ginny, just don't tell Dog I said that. Huh, she's not Crystal. Maybe. Because yeah, where did... I remember Crystal from somewhere. Oh yeah, hey boss, whatever you say, Crystal might be able to help with the log problem. She's got a trick or two up her sleeve. Gee, okay. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so she... Oh, so her surname is Carmine, maybe? Because obviously the thing with the lock is that they're trying to get to the peanuts, right? They're trying to get into the cupboard with the peanut oil. And she got some stuff going on, so Crystal, it could be that she has her surname in her bag, so it's Crystal Carmine? Yes, okay. So here it's also Crystal Carmine. There we go. Okay, so what happened? Coveting the role of president, right? He continues. Wilder Mason, or Mason Wilder, schemed with... Well, he schemed with Cassidy, but also with Chris. So let's see how this sentence goes. To kill, yes, we know who he wanted to kill. Sewell and Prescott by using something. Someone pleaded with him not to do it. Okay, so it was Cassidy Hilliard. Okay, so he schemed with Todd Chris, to kill Sewell by using poison. Cassidy Hilliard pleaded with them not to do it, so instead they enlisted the girlfriend, Crystal Carmine, to steal peanut oil. Oh, did they put that in the cleaning thing? Was that it? Right, because if we look at this, it says cleaner looks a bit yellow. And then if we go to the kitchen and look at the oil, kind of potentially similar color. And swap it with the microphone cleaner. Oh no, that's someone's name. Someone's something. With Matt Linder's cleaner. Yes, microphone cleaner. So he would spray it on the microphone. The victim came in contact with it when they went to sing, and it appeared like they died of natural causes. I mean, if they got allergic reaction, right, that to the point of killing them, it wouldn't look like natural causes. It would look like they had an allergic reaction. that tends to be that kind of thing. Meanwhile, Sheila Dietmeyer had grown jealous of Todd, Chris' new girlfriend. Yes, there would still be something, right? It would be treated as like, hey, she got an allergic reaction. Is the restaurant to blame or anything like that, right? How did the contamination happen if they, I mean, it's like the 80s, so maybe they weren't as bothered back then, I'm not sure. But obviously these days, I mean, especially like in the UK, there's been quite a few cases recently where they were like, oh yeah, and this place doesn't label their food properly, so the person didn't know that this pre-made sandwich had something in it, and they died of it, so they've been pretty like on top of it. But I guess in the 80s, maybe not. They would just be like, oh yeah, allergy. And anyway, the girlfriend, Crystal Carmine, and tried to poison her with belladonna. However, the target switched their drink order with Rona Herrin, who ingested instead and died. 2 or more shots filled incorrectly. Okay. So what is wrong? Coveting the role of president, I think that's fine, right? Because Sewell was the president. Mason Wilder schemed with Todd Chris to kill Sewell Prescott by using poison. By using the belladonna? Yes, okay. Cassidy Hilliard pleaded with them not to do it, so instead they enlisted Crystal Carmine to steal peanut oil and swap it with Matt Linder. Yeah, this is what Carmine said, oh damn. Yeah, she was like, oh, I was about to do this. Swap it with Matt Linder's microphone cleaner, so he would spray it on the microphone. Wipe it on the microphone? Yeah, okay. Just some adjustments and we're good. Mason Wilder planned to kill Sewell Prescott, his final roadblock to becoming board president, using belladonna sourced by Sheila Dietmeyer. Cassidy Hilliard felt this was a step too far. Yes, now suddenly she's like, murder is a bit harsh. And urged him not to. So he and Todd Chris decided they would instead exploit Sewell's severe peanut allergy. Todd's girlfriend Crystal stole peanut oil from the kitchen and they mixed it into the microphone cleaner, which was used to wipe down the microphone that Sewell had been coached to touch her lips to while singing. It quickly triggered an allergic reaction and killed her. Meanwhile, Sheila impulsively decided to instead use the belladonna to poison Crystal's drink, but after Crystal swapped drink orders with Rona Hedrin, Rona ingested the poison and died. Yep. Once again, murder. They did one murder, and then they did another murder, though again, the victim was unintended. The newsletter from summer 1982. Hello, fellow theater lovers. My first time writing to you as board president is a bittersweet moment. I've dreamed for years of one day leading this company, but the road to this day has been paved with tragedy. And who caused this tragedy? Mason? Who did it? Sue Ellen Prescott was a staple of this theater since its inception, back to the Birch Tree cinema days. And also, wasn't she funding the place? Where are they getting money now? Her sudden passing has shocked us all, but I like to think it was what she would have wanted. Being on stage in a room surrounded by her friends, singing Koala Porter with such grace that her poor heart just couldn't keep up. I feel the weight of her and Charles Gibson on my shoulders, and I promise to let them guide me. I don't think so. We also honor the memory of Rona Hedrin, longtime treasurer who always managed to bring chic elegance to any room. The sick individual who caused her death has been locked away, but the absence is still acute. She is survived by her husband Frank and their sons Kyle and Corey. Well, I guess no more Sheila Dittmeyer then. She's off to prison. That aside, I am thrilled to usher the Birch Tree Theater into the future. Our fall musical will be Dire Avenue, a toe-tapping dance show sure to please audiences. Audition will be held the second week of August. I am also proud to announce the initiative for new works. Building on her years of songwriting workshops, Miss Cassidy Hilliard will head our new musicals Now division, offering songwriting workshops, concert, and masterclasses. Stay tuned for more news about this exciting endeavor. I could talk about the theater all day, so I will leave you with the promise to keep bringing exciting, high-quality theater to our community. I mean, the problem with the high-quality theater for your community is going to be that you're killing everyone in it. Right? Like, how is there supposed to be theater if everyone's dead? In the end, it's just Mason and Cassidy. Okay. One more. After this one, we will wrap up, because I'm still trying to keep the streams on, like, the shorter end of things, because my throat is still not all the way back, which is super annoying, but it is what it is. So we'll do this one. And then for tomorrow, we should have also 3 chapters left. Yes. So that will nicely split it. So assuming they're not outrageously long, we should be able to finish up tomorrow. So today we're going to Trojans, a new musical, music by Cassidy Hilliard and book and lyrics by Mason Wilder. Yes, now they're getting top credit because they killed everyone else. 1985, so 3 years later. Immediately dead. So they keep going with it. Who was it this time? What could you possibly want more, Mason? You're already president. Okay, so who's dead? The person under the set piece isn't moving. Yep, pretty dead. Come on now, the show must go on. Really? You're just gonna continue with the murder and saying the show must go on? What did you get Todd Chris to do this time? Maybe he killed Todd Chris. You know, he's like, that guy has so much dirt on me, I better get rid of him. Cassidy's here. Oh, no. She got music. Soldiers of Troy. Yeah, Mason Wilder, Cassidy Hilliard. Yes, we're getting their names just in a package now. Stab. Just randomly in the lyrics. There's gonna be some stabbing. Not gonna attempt to sing it. Oh, darlings. Happy opening to the most serious soldiers in Troy. Benji Baker. Mark Walls. Dead something. Hell of Troy. Albrecht. A pin. Oh, okay. Here, Benji Baker, Marquez Walls, Scott Rhodes, and Hello of Troy, Albrecht. Okay. I was like trying to read their signature. Everything's here. Making it difficult for myself. Okay, so I guess they're like new people that have joined since, you know, they killed everyone else, they needed new people. Bow down, ye Trojans, for it is I, the goddess Athena. A script is taped to the inside of the shield. Okay. Soldier 1, King Priam. What is it? Can't you see I'm busy looking very powerful? Yes, sir, but it's important. Oh, brother, what now? You tell him. Oh, I don't want to. He never listens to me. And on the rare chance he does, he makes me do push-ups. I would love to tell him. Then tell him. Quiet! The soldiers jump to attention and salute Priam. Now you, spit it out. Why, don't ya? Yes, sir, Greek forces have begun to retreat, sir. They have left a giant horse outside of our gate, sir. A horse? A horse. A horse? A horse. Interesting. Surely it's a sign of retreat. A trophy of our impending victory. Huzzah! This is cause for celebration. Green, drop and give me 20. Oh. He does so. Music begin. Imagine a play where you have to drop and do 20 on stage every time. The Greeks couldn't withstand the might of our military prowess, our cunning, and our God-given charm. Come on, boys, let's show him what it means to be soldiers of Troy. Mason wrote this. Yeah. He's the board president now. He gets to do what he wants. Soldiers sung. We're soldiers of Troy, yes, soldiers, oh boy. And we're keeping the Greeks all at bay. Our schedules are strict, our diets are clean. We encourage you to try it with a workout routine. We're soldiers of Troy, you're soldiers, oh boy. Want a visit, you'll just have to wait. Cause as a matter of course, no Grecian man or his horse is never ever gonna get through our gate. This soldier is sad. This soldier is glad. But they're keeping the Greeks all at bay. I'll be angry as hell when I swing my mace. My sash may be blue, but I'm red in the face. Listen, soldier of Troy, that's a mace, not a toy. Plus a hammer, a sword, and a lance. Stab, stab. Soldiers in Priam, yes, we're armed to the teeth, but take a look underneath. You'll see these Trojan soldiers just want to dance. Dance break! Okay, yes, this is Mason's writing. Very, very big depth. Also, they are performing with their scripts taped up to their shields because they don't know their lines. Scott! Okay, Scott is dead. Damn. Okay, is this the sad soldier? Like they have different masks with different expressions. He's like a crying face. He's a sad face. He's the angry face. Okay, what else? We have some audience member. Oh god. Yeah, so that's again the leaflet. A set of keys with a ballet shoe. Hi Emily, happy opening. Thanks again for changing the choreography of the soldier song so that I am not next to Helen anymore. It's my fault for making things weird. I should have known better than to ask her out. Anyway, now that rehearsals are over, do you want to catch a movie or something? If you like baseball, Marquez has a champs game on Sunday. Let me know. Benji. Okay, so he's like, thanks for moving me so I'm not next to this girl I've asked out and now it's weird. Hey, and in the same note, do you want to go out? Am I reading this right? Is this guy just hitting on anyone? Benji? Control yourself. Trojan's notes for 19. Opening go over count of leg pops with Siren Trio. Has Scott completely forgotten the blocking? Why isn't he doing the choreo? This is a tragedy. Okay, it seems like the new intake is not exactly working out for the place. They seem to not be doing so well. We've got this lady just going sigh. I mean, no one seems too concerned about the fact that someone was just crushed live on stage. Okay, boarding pass. Zone red, smoking no. Oh yes, the no smoking zone on the plane, because we know how well that works. Oh my god, I'm so glad we no longer live in the world where you're allowed to just smoke about anywhere. Row 2, seat B. First class. Yep. Okay, so she came from somewhere, because the destination is GNA, which is where, whatever the code for this place is, I think. Room 2, yeah, so she's staying in a hotel. Birch Tree Theater, Mason Wilder, Antonia Sui, Vice President now, Carol absent, Secretary, Scott Rhodes is now the treasurer. But not anymore, because he's been crashed. I'm surprised anyone wants to join this place anymore, right? Like, literally every single person before you died, and you're like, yeah, sounds great, I'm gonna join. It's like people to go to a haunted house where everyone has been murdered before and then split up and also get murdered. Cassidy Hilliard, book and lyrics by Mason, director, Mason, conductor, music director, orchestrations, Cassidy, choreographer, Emily, Holder, head, stagehand, yes, Chris Todd Chris. He's getting the credit because he's got the dirt. Costume and wig supervisor, Carl absent, yes. Costumes are now up to a new person because Sheila got arrested for murder, so she's no longer involved. She's been eliminated. Who are we naming? Okay, we have to name the two people in there, which we found out that this lady here is named Emily from this note, so we can tag her as such. Okay. We're gonna have to say who is which soldier later on as well with some... Oh, and what... Okay. We're gonna have to say who's which soldier and what are they wearing. So like which weapon, which mask, and which color, some sort of bandana or scarf or something. If there's only one slot for a person's name, use their first name. Okay, so sometimes there will be no surname. Okay. Anything more on the screen? I don't think so. I think we can move on. For once, Mason doesn't have like million notes on him detailing how he's planning to murder someone. Okay, we've got this office room with lots of things. Birch Tree Cinema, happy opening. Opening day of the Birch Tree Cinema in 1929. Okay. Nothing to pick up here. The trunk is empty except for a broken costume piece. Okay, some sort of like a neck thing or a brace for your arm. He even looks surprised, but he is an actor, yes. Is he a good actor though? Because we've never really arrived at that, right? He had his... Like, he was always passed over for dance, so... You know, was he good? Was he not? Does that mean he gets better at it, or does he actually not trying to kill someone this time? I mean, he's already board president. Who could he possibly want to kill other than, like, Todd Chris so that he doesn't have dirt on him, right? But who knows? Who knows? Maybe he will find a reason. 2 plaques from a regional magazine citing the Birch Tree Theater as excellent live theater destination, 1982 and 84. Swally Tom. The Oz Room. This unfinished room in the basement of the Birch Tree Theater was used to store projectors and other film equipment in its movie house days. The room was boarded up and laid untouched for over 20 years, unearthed by stench hands cleaning out the derelict theater. One remarked it feels like Dorothy stepping into the land of Oz. The name stuck, and the room continues to be used as storage space for set pieces and costumes. Okay, there is Oz room somewhere here. The frame contains 3 photos of Mason Wilder playing various onstage roles. Okay, here's Mason and Cassidy on Casimir, which is where they got rid of the previous conductor. A community award from a local bank. Trousers. A familiar looking set of clothes. Something's gone wrong. Come to my office. ASAP. Is it familiar looking set of clothes? Did Mason's kid write that script? Maybe. Though, not sure he has any. Maybe again he let someone write the script for him or something. Okay, what he's doing? Answer, man.
Hello, this is Annabelle from the offices of David Marmot. Just calling to confirm airport pickup for Mrs. Goffson's 1:30 p.m. arrival. Thank you.
Mason, it's Scott. Listen, we need to talk about the theatre financials. You cannot use the Birch Tree Theater as a piggy bank for your personal projects, be it travel or musicians or whatever. Not without board approval. I'm hoping I'm wrong about this. I'm running late, but let's talk in your office before the show.
Trojans opens tonight. Hey, it's Cassidy. I hope you hear this before the show. Just calling to say, break a leg tonight. I'm just so glad things are back on track with the theater and with us and with everything. It's all been leading up to this, and I'm so proud of what we've made. Hope you are too. I love you, and I'll see you out there.
So yes, it didn't take long. It didn't take long. Scott had to die because he was telling Mason to not embezzle the theater's money, and that's of course unacceptable. Mason is just too important. He is gonna do what he wanna do. So yes, Mason is back up on the list, top of it, for he did it. He did the murder. But yes, there was at the start.
Hello, this is Annabelle from the offices of David Marmot. Just calling to confirm airport pickup for Mrs. Goffson's 1:30 p.m. arrival. Thank you.
Mrs. Goffson's arrival. There was this woman with a plane ticket, right? It doesn't say when, just the date. But that might be her. She might be Mrs. Goffson, although we didn't get to click on it yet. So we'll see. We'll see about that. What else is here? Production meeting notes Thursday. Jennifer Sharma is having trouble backstage doing a quick change and making it into the Trojan horse. Okay, so she's the one in the horse currently. Best solution is to cut her from the opening number. Cassidy will give her the news. Helen says it's odd that her character's color is green, while their mood is sad. Green is usually envy. She might have a point, but it's the least of my worries at the moment. Okay, so Helen is playing the green character, or like the color of whatever it is, and the mood is sad because she doesn't think it makes sense. That would be for that thing we need to fill in with everyone's characters. If one more actor asks me whether or not their line is supposed to be funny, I'm going to jump into the orchestra pit. Or would you now? Would you now jump into the orchestra pit? It's like, if people don't get your writing, maybe you need to examine. It's not supposed to be a comedy show, yes. It wasn't supposed to be the most awkward scene, that thing that we read. Because, yeah. Whatever your intention was, Mason, it's not coming through. Okay, got some letters. Amalia Goffson. Yes, so that would be the woman that arrived on the plane. Who's sitting in the audience. So that's her, I think. David Marmot Productions, yes, because that's what they were calling from. April 2nd, 1985. So they're from New York. Dear Mr. Wilder, I received your second letter, photocopy enclosed, and I must say you drive a hard bargain. I don't usually make a habit of attending community theater productions, but a first-class flight and a bed and breakfast in the county sounds charming. Please arrange a front row seat for the opening night performance of Trojans. I'd be happy to share my thoughts with you and your collaborator the following morning. An assistant from my office will call regarding the travel and lodging arrangements. Sincerely, Mary Gossin. Yeah, she didn't seem impressed. So, as far as we know, in 1995, Mason dies while still performing at this theater, right? So, I think this is him reaching out to like a big production thing in New York so that they, you know, he's hoping to like get his big break. So, but it never happens. He's always at the theater. He stays there for another 10 years. Yes, because it's 85 and 95 he dies. But Cassidy becomes a Broadway composer, right? So this may be what leads to her getting her big break. Like she gets noticed at least. Like the writing was awful, the acting was awful, but the music was really good. But then she's like, oh yeah, I don't want to talk about what happened at the community theater because she knows that, you know, she's got skeletons in her closets, in her pianos, in her everything. Okay, and that's the photocopy of the letters. Dear Mrs. Govson, thank you for your kind refusal, but I am hoping I can persuade you to see our humble original musical Trojans at the Birch Tree Theater. Could I sweeten the deal by offering to fly you first class, round trip of course, and putting you up at the best bed and breakfast in the tri-state area? The downtown and surrounding areas are lovely to explore this time of year. I will be happy to escort you to some of our favorite locales. Frankly, I believe that Trojans is destined to be a hit, and based on your previous work, I think you would be the perfect producer to expose it to a wider audience. Yes, they're trying to like promote themselves. I know a community theater production is a far cry from the professional work you must see on a daily basis, but I trust you can see our show for the potential of its writing beyond the amateur performances you will see on stage. Okay, so he's trying to be like, oh yeah, our actor sucks, but my writing is amazing. It's not, Mason. It's not. I'm not even a writer. And I guess this is what Scott is angry, right? He's like, this is a community theater. We live off donations, and you're paying for some woman from New York to come here first class, best accommodation, and whatever, you know, wine and dine her so that you can get your big break. That is not an appropriate use of theater finances. Yes, producer travel, $674. Musician fee, and yes, then South Lake B&B producer lodging, $215. So yes, there he spent a ton of money on that could have been spent on musicians or other things for the theater. Bad Mason. Is he drinking? Oh no, he's got a ring. He's planning to propose to Cassidy maybe, but I don't think it's gonna happen. But also yes, drinking much? Secret stash in your desk? Okay, so that's this office, I assume Mason's office. We've got, is this the odds room with like the various things? There's someone inside the carpet. There are bruises around the dead man's neck. Okay. So there is a second dead body. Okay then. So what's up with that? And there is nothing else here. Like literally this room. Yes, this room. The only thing in it is the dead body in the carpet. A special little treat. And we can also go up. I'm sorry. Okay, so they got a new backstage guy and he dropped the prop on the performer. Terry, something's come up, you gotta handle the rigging system. Okay, so Todd is off on whatever business, and he left Terry in charge, and that turned out terrible. Gotta handle the rigging system yourself tonight, just do what I did during tech. Remember, the counter-rig for the Trojan horse will feel off after Jennifer gets in, so secure the hand light to keep it from coming in too quick. You're my brother's kid, I know you'll do fine, Todd. Okay, so his name might be Terry Chris. Right, if it's Todd Chris and then they're brothers, so he would be Terry Chris. That would make sense to me. So this guy here, Terry, Chris. Okay, so we gotta name the two women in the audience. The woman in the Trojan horse is Jennifer, so we've already seen that. We don't know who the other dead guy is. And this is Scott under the Trojan horse. Not sure if we got the rest of his name. We still got 4 clues we need to get, so there might be more. So yeah, he's here, inexperienced, doesn't know what he's doing, and basically dropped the rope and it fell on a person. Oh, okay, there's another thing here. Introduction to theater tech. Yes, rigging systems. Loft blocks, head block, lift lines, batten attached to light set pieces, hand line, sandbag, pinrod, stage hand. That's the little dude. It's you! You're the stage hand. Diagram of rope-based rigging system. Theaters with such system are often referred to as hemp houses. Books. Check them out. Yes, so that just tells us how that thing is rigged. In case we need that. Trojans, a new musical. Okay, so that's what we already read, right? The terrible script. Yes, book and lyrics by Mason Wilder, music by Cassidy. Okay, there is a poster. No casual whistling on deck. Got an achievement for looking at that, but it doesn't have any more clues for us. Anything else? Okay, so we have the angry guy with, I guess it's like a waistband. So angry guy got blue waistband and a mace. Mace, angry, blue. Then we have sword. Oh, so that's Helen because it's green and sad. So we know that. Then we have the hammer with yellow. We can't see the face, but we know that's Scott. Because they're yelling Scott and stuff. Then this guy. I mean, if this is the sad face, what face is this? Because it kind of looks sad, but also kind of surprised. Let's see, because there are numbers here. We have Soldier 1, Soldier 3, sadly, happily, angry. Juwon coming in with the knowledge. In professional theater, stagehands would send instructions about how to move things with specific coded whistles, so casual whistling was banned because it could be very dangerous for everyone else. Yes, that sounds like a good idea to be like, don't just whistle random things, because that could be danger. Weirdly enough, I got a semi-story, you know, when I always share my what weird things do I get up to in my life, which is I do a bunch of like very amateurish, like not even you know, anything to show people, but I do like aerial gymnastics, aerial art. So it's like you go on various equipment, like, you know, suspended hoops or fabric pieces, and you do like circus tricks, that kind of stuff. Like, I just do it as an exercise more than anything else. I'm not super good at it, but because they also have like classes for kids, what they do is the kids do a show and they ask like their adult students to help with the show and, you know, stuff like that, because they don't have the money to pay for, you know, like they pay the rigging guy that attaches the things to the ceilings because, you know, that's a dangerous thing to do wrong, but they don't have money to pay for like professional helpers for the rest of the show. So I often do the tying and untying of equipment, but yes, our professional system is just numbering the ropes and running around and being like 7, 8, just yelling, and like you can't see because you're behind a curtain, just like a tiny corridor behind a curtain, and you're just like letting that rope down, hoping it doesn't hit anyone on the head with the, like, most of the equipment's okay, but like the aerial hoops are heavy, so, you know, don't want to drop that on anyone's head. You know, hopefully people don't randomly start yelling numbers about things you're about to drop. Anyway, no whistling codes. We just yell numbers across the curtain. Not very professional. Yeah, so what we have, because yes, we have a sad soldier, a happy soldier, and an angry soldier, at least from, and there's a scared actually. So maybe this guy is supposed to be scared. So the guy with the spear has a red waistband and it's scared. And actually, you can kind of see what sort of animal there are, right? Because here on the thing we gotta solve, we have their picture. So like there is this dog guy. I don't know, beaver. Not enough teeth for a beaver. Something. This is the dead guy. And then a shark. So this is the dog guy here in the red thing. That's dog. Then this is the shark with the sword. So that's Helen. The blue angry maze guy is the, I'm gonna say it's a beaver, I don't think it is. But that's my name for it. And then Scott is this person, but therefore he's not on this picture. I mean, because yeah, it's the same gray sort of person, so he could be this, but then who's dead in the basement? Oh, this is getting confusing. Because yeah, there is this body here, and then there's this body in the basement, so is there some sort of swapperoonie happening? Interesting. So we know that the shark is called Helen. Something, like we have their full names. Oh, okay. This is just swapping. We don't even need... Oh, and we have to figure out they're actually 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we don't have to put names here. Okay, so in the script, let's look at it. Soldier 1 is sheepish. Soldier 3 says things sadly. Yeah, I think they're supposed to be like, this isn't like the animals they evolved and there are humans in the world. I think this is just supposed to be like an alternative world where all the animals are just humanoid. I guess for art purposes, or maybe they did it to make it easier to distinguish. Maybe they went like, oh, you know, if I draw lots of humans, they don't look distinct enough, but if I make them animals, at least it's easier to tell. they were just like, oh yeah, animals that work. I mean, obviously I don't know, but it helps with the game, actually. It helps with the game that they're different animals, because it's easier to be like, oh yeah, he's a dog, he's a shark, right? But yes, can we... I guess whoever was crushed, they were Soldier 2, right? Because they have Soldier 2 lines highlighted. So Scott would be Soldier 2. Scott Rhodes is Soldier 2. And he has a hammer. And a yellow thing. But then he would have the happy mask, because we don't see it, right? So he must be the one with the happy mask, because he's missing with the... His face is missing. His face has been crushed. So then that leaves 1, 4, 1, 3, and 4. Anything else about his belt thingy? I mean, it's yellow and covered in blood. That's for sure. I'm still kind of... What I'm kind of confused about, right, is the fact that this, you know, appears to be this person, but by coloring the person under the horse could also be this person because they're also gray. So I'm just like, is there some swaps happening? Like, who is that, right? But I know they are yelling Scott, right? But then again, they would be wearing a mask, so they'd be like, maybe they couldn't tell if they're wearing a mask. He's just in his undies here. Yeah, then he has bruises around the neck. But then he's wearing something that looked like could be piece of costume, because he has this little like necklace. And then if we go on the stage, he has this thing on his arm here. So this looks like those are piece of the costumes, like the little gold things. Oh, they are wearing... In this chest, there's this thing, right? The broken piece of costume. And then they all are wearing that. And he's not. And then a familiar looking set of clothes. Just like this stuff. Are those just Mason's clothes, or is that... I mean, the person missing clothes is in the basement, so that could be his clothes. It's not like he's wearing this here. Okay, this is all interesting. Because yes, there's clearly something going on with the two people that are dead. But I'm not yet quite clocking just now who's who. Okay, so it's Jennifer Sharma for the woman in the horse. So at least we get that. Helen. If one more actor asked me whether, like, okay. She's having trouble changing backstage during a quick change and making it the Trojan horse. Best solution is to cut her from the opening number. Okay, so that just means she's not in the opening number. She's already in the horse from the start. The note next to the pile of clothes. Something's gone wrong. Don't my office ass up. Yes, so that could be Mason, right? Because that's his handwriting. Because again, they use fonts to signify handwriting. So that looks like Mason's handwriting. So that could be him summoning Scott to be like, hey man, come to my office because something's gone wrong. And that's what he summons him for. And then shenanigans, right? shenanigans happen. There's a broken piece of costume. What does this even like? Because obviously I've been focused on the side things, but what does the what happened say? The Birch Tree Theater was presenting its first something with music by... I assume this is like... Okay. Yes, original musical with music by Cassidy, Hilliard, and words by Wilder Mason. Mason embezzled funds to pay for the travel expenses of Broadway producer. I'm just filling it in because maybe it will give me some more hints on what's going on. We still have 3 clues I haven't clicked somewhere, so we'll need to get back to that. Amalia Goffson. Okay, if this isn't locked in, then it moves around. Okay, thanks. Amalia Goffson, and to hire more professional musicians. Yes, okay. So even the spending on the musicians wasn't approved spending. That just, I guess that makes Cassidy look better because she's getting better musicians for her conducting. When Scott, we know Scott's name, it's in this thing, Scott Rhodes. So potentially him or potentially him in the basement. That's still to be aligned, because that may be someone else who wasn't supposed to die, but there was a snafu with the set. So obviously, yes, because Mason wouldn't know that the person on stage would be crushed. He is not aware that Todd has left and that, you know, there would be a mishap with the ropes and he drops the thing. So actually, I think Scott Rhodes is the person in the basement. Mason kills him, and then puts someone else, like an, you know, maybe they had an understudy for him in there to perform, and they obviously they don't know it. They yell Scott because the person is wearing a mask. So it's someone else. Okay. Yes. So Scott Rhodes threatened to expose the... so then Mason... he strangled him. So we don't have a word for that, maybe. Need to look for the extra things. Someone help him use a something, a carpet, to move the body from the office. Hello, very much craft. Welcome. From the office to Oz. I assume that's what we're calling it because that's what it was called in the article. Yes, because Scott was supposed to be in the play, right? Be an... something on stage actor. Someone agreed to do it instead. However, the something that was supposed to be operated, the rigging system that was supposed to be operated by Terry, was left... Oh no, it wasn't. It was supposed to be operated by Todd. It was left to a novice stagehand, Terry Chris. When he lost control of the rigging system or some other thing that lowered the Trojan horse, containing Jennifer Sharma, it fell on stage, killing / crushing whoever the... Okay, so yes, I think that confirms it. Scott is not on stage. He is not the one crushed. Scott is dead in the basement. Who stepped in for Scott? is the question. This is the letters to the producer. This is the expenses. This is the stuff for Cassidy. That's Mason. That's random people. Because she's got that stuff, right? So it's the Benji Baker, so he's the dog. Marquez Walls, he's the beaver, or whatever this is. Yeah, Scott Rhodes. A mouse of some sort. And Helen of Troy Albrecht is the shark. I'm like, is she supposed to be... Emily's doing choreography, so that's probably on a page somewhere with like, what's the play, right? I'm sure there was a thing. Yeah, there we go. Emily Calder is doing choreography, so we have her name, we can enter it. So it's just the mystery of the dead body on stage, and I mean then the other details, but we work from there. Where is the extra free clues? Because I'm still missing 3 things that needed to be clicked. We've got everything here from this book. There might be some other things in that thing where it said like, oh, the rigging system, but maybe that he was supposed to be like operating the hand line or something more specifically than the rigging system. But we can sort that out when we get to it. You got nothing. You got nothing. You are dead and you got nothing. This is the script. You're just yelling Scott. You're just saying damn. Not very helpful. She still got things I haven't clicked on because I keep doing that where like I read something and I run off to do something else. Birch Tree Couple Penn's new musical. Tonight marks a milestone for our own town and in its theater community. The Birch Tree Theater, primarily known for mounting classic Broadway productions with local volunteers, is bringing something new to its audience, an original musical. It's part of a new Musical Now program we started 2 years ago, says Cassidy Hilliard, the resident conductor of the BTT, as well as the composer of the new musical Trojans. It started as a series of songwriting workshops and concerts until one day Mason said, why don't we make something together? Mason Wilder, BTT board president and frequent director, penned the book and lyrics for Trojans. Cassidy is so talented. I've loved seeing her grow as an artist since we met on Cell Block Jazz, and I've been eager to elevate her work in any way I could. Yes, when she helped you get the job, or something like that, like she was also already sabotaging people. Wilder and Hilliard have also been romantically involved for several years. When I ask if marriage is anywhere in the future, they nervously laugh. One collaboration at a time, jokes Wilder. Well, he's got the ring in his desk. Anything but an opera, says Hilliard with a grin. Trojans, a comedic retelling of the Trojan War. So it's supposed to be a comedy, but I guess people are not getting the jokes and they're like, is that the joke? Is that the joke? It's not funny, Mason. Premieres tonight at the Birch Tree Theater and runs Fridays and weekends for the next month. For tickets, visit the box office or call this number. Dearest Cassidy, it's just another opening maybe, but it's the first of its kind. A Hilliard Wilder original. Thank you for trusting me with your melodies, and I'm so glad I found money in the budget to hire a few professionals to help bring your score to life. Yes, so he's basically spending the theater's money to get his girlfriend a better set of musicians. I always thought producers simply existed to strangle creativity, but after meeting Ms. Gosson today, I'm feeling hopeful about the future. I reserve the right to feel crushed if she hates it though. Anyway, happy opening, happy debut, happy everything. theatrically yours, Mason. Okay, so that's some crucial worlds, right? Because we're both looking for... Mason has strangled Scott, and the person who's standing in for Scott has been crushed by the Trojan horse. Yes, here I think when it says when he lost control of the rigging system that lowered the Trojan horse, I think it might be the hand line instead, because they probably want us to be a bit more specific than just saying the rigging system, but we'll see, because yes. Who is the person? Whose names do we have that I haven't used? I mean, because we have to fill this in, right? So who's soldier 1, 2, 3, 4? So options we have are Benji, then Helen. We know who Helen is. She's the shark. Marquez, Scott, and that's it. So we can't even put... Okay, because it's who was assigned to play which soldier. Okay, so it's supposed to be Scott in this section, even though it's not actually him on stage. So we know that's him. Sharker is here. She's the sad soldier. Her name is Helen. We just have to figure out what her number is. She has the pigs. So Benji's the dog. And then Marquez is the beaver. With the mace in blue band, and he's angry. Scott is the mouse and Helen is the shark. Okay, so which one are they? Sold, like, what kind of things do they say? Because yeah, soldier 4 says things angrily, right? Soldier 4 angrily, soldier 4 angry, stuff like that. I'll be angry as hell. Okay, so soldier 4 is the angry soldier, therefore it's the Marquez the beaver with mace, angry face, and blue band. That's him here. He's soldier 4. So he's got a mace. He has an angry mask. He's wearing a blue waistband. And his name is Marquez. So then we have soldier 3 is sad a lot. He's sad here, sad here. This soldier is sad, yes. So they the one with the sad mask, and the sad soldier is Helen. They're holding a sword and they're wearing green. And that's Helen, the shark. And that leaves Benji the dog to be soldier 1, who's carrying a spear, has a scared face, and has the red band. There we go. So that's all of the things. I'm going to kick myself when I work out who the dead guy is. I'm sure I will, because I'm sure it's quite like, oh, it was Is it Todd? Is it Todd? Is Todd dead? Like when I said at the start that he would want to kill Todd, I mean, he didn't, but Todd is always helping him, right? So he was always like, hey, Todd, my friend. And I was going for like, oh, maybe he wants to kill Todd now because, you know, Todd knows too much. But no, he got Todd to go. He got Todd to go in. Yes. So this is Todd Chris Chris Todd. Yeah. Of course. Who, like, that's what came up. That's what the letter was about that he gave to his nephew. He was like, oh yeah, I gotta do something else. No, Todd isn't brown yet. I think he was gray. He just wears like the brown. Those are his clothes, I guess. So the maroon clothes are Todd, maybe? So that's maybe why it seems like he's brown, but no. I think he's like a gray mouse. I mean, we can go and check him, but I'm pretty sure that was it. Okay, so to fill this in to the end, you know, they wrote the musical together, Mason embezzling all the money for the producer. Scott, who's the new treasurer, is like, listen, Mason can't be doing that. So Mason's like, strangle. So then Todd Chris helps Mason to get Scott in a carpet, move the body from the office to Oz. Because Scott was supposed to be on stage actor, Todd agreed. Oh, that's why the lines are highlighted. That's why he has a script in his shield that with highlights, because he obviously doesn't know the role, right? However, the rigging system that was supposed to be operated by Todd was left to novice stagehand Terry Chris when he lost control of the handline that lowered the Trojan holes containing Jennifer Sharma. It fell on stage, crashing Todd Chris. Okay. What's wrong? Is it this rigging system handline situation? So is it like, however, the handline that was supposed to be operated by Todd was left to novice stagehand? We lost control of the rigging system? No. Okay. That might be more specific terms. But then there was two. Let's look at the book then. So we have the pin rail. That's part of it, but that's not a word we can use. There's the handline attached to the pin rail, a sandbag, then the head block, glove blocks, batten. That's what the set piece is on. Okay. So that's the diagram. And here is like, remember the counterweight for the Trojan horse will feel off after Jennifer gets in, so secure the handline to keep it from coming in too quick. You're my brother's girl. Okay, yeah. Secure the handline. And this is the handline and he loses control of it. So it says, because Scott was supposed to be an onstage actor, Todd agreed to do it instead. However, the X that was supposed to be operated... This feels like the rigging system should be here, right? Because he's operating the rigging system. Was left to a novice stagehand, Terry Chris. We know that's the right name. When he lost control of the handline. 2 or more slots are... Okay, maybe it's something else. That lowered the Trojan horse containing Jennifer Sharma. It fell to stage, crashing Todd Chris. Okay. What else could be wrong? It's original musical. They wrote it. Cassidy wrote the music. And Mason wrote the words. Mason embezzled theater funds to pay the travel expenses of Broadway producer Amalia Goffson. Again, that sounds correct. And to hire more professional musicians. When Scott Rhodes threatened to expose them, Mason strangled him. He looks pretty strangled to me. Yeah, I mean, I thought that's what it was. Let's see. Amalia Goffson, David Marmot production. It says here, Frankie, I believe the Trojans is destined to be a hit, and based on your previous work, I think you would be a perfect producer to expose it to a Wilder audience. So that's where I got her as the producer, right? And he says there, dear Mrs. Goffson. So that sounded correct to me. Pay for expose, but that wouldn't be expenses of a Broadway producer. Amalia Goffson and to hire more professional musicians. When Scott Rhodes threatened to expose them, Mason strangled him. He did. I'm pretty sure he did. Todd Chris helped him use a carpet to move the body from the office to Oz. Is that not correct? Like, I assumed it was Oz, right? That's why that thing is here saying the Oz room. Unfinished room in the basement where they... it's used for storage. Backstage, as in from backstage to backstage to Oz. I mean, that doesn't improve it, so unclear. But this looks more like an office, right? Like this is an office and like the clothes are here, so it feels like the body would be here in the office. Because Scott was supposed to be an onstage actor, like maybe onstage soldier? Yes, okay, that improves it. So there's something else. Handline, office, onstage, opera, Oz, rigging system, setback, tragedy actor. No, that makes it work. So it's onstage soldier. Todd agreed to do it instead. Oh, they used the trunk. That makes sense, because that's what happened, right? That's why there's a broken costume piece, because it like fell off him or something. Because this is Todd's clothes. So yeah, and then they rolled him in the carpet while they were already there. There we go. Just a few extra words. Mason and Cassidy were eager to get their original music in Trojans to a larger stage, so Mason embezzled theater funds to wine and dine a Broadway producer and hire professional musicians to elevate the quality of the show. When treasurer Scott Rhodes found out and confronted Mason, Mason panicked and strangled Scott on the spot. Todd Chris helped him hide Scott's body in storage room using a trunk to move him. Mason needed someone to fill Scott's role in the musical, so he had Todd do it with a hidden script. However, the rigging system that Todd usually manned was left to a novice stagehand, his nephew Terry. When Terry lost control of the handline and lowered a large set piece on the stage, it fell and crushed Todd. Yes, so Todd is out of the picture now, so I'm not sure who is Mason going to get to do his dirty work. Amalia Goffson. Okay, so she's writing. Dear Miss Hilliard, thank you for the opportunity to meet last week. I hope you're recovering from the shock of the tragedy that we all witnessed. In all my years as stagehand, murdering an actor to assume his role on stage is by far the wildest thing I've ever gathered. Oh, yes, because of course they just go like, Todd did it because he wanted to be the actor, right? No one put him up to it. It's all his fault. As I said when I met you and Mr. Wilder on Saturday, I found Trojans to be lackluster and unoriginal. I knew the performance was cut short by a falling horse, but having read the script, I've since come to the same conclusion. I was, however, struck by the sophistication of the music you wrote for Trojans, as well as your other songs. I confess I've been listening to your demo tape non-stop. You have a gift for melody and storytelling that rivals songwriters on Broadway today. Theatrically Yours stops me in my tracks every time I hear it. My husband loves it too, and he hates musicals. I'll get straight to the point. I'm spearheading a new project based on Wuthering Heights, and our composer lyricist dropped out. I know you have a good thing going with the Birch Tree Theater, but I'm wondering if I could persuade you to come to New York for a few weeks. You could meet the team, I pay you to write some songs, and if all goes well, we can aim for a workshop later this year. To be clear, I'm extending this invitation only to you. Mr. Wilder is charming and talented, but I don't see him as a good fit for the project. Sorry for the awkwardness this may cause. Hope you're interested. Feel free to call my office, my home line at this number. Sincerely, Amara Gofson. Yes, so as I thought before, this is where Cassidy gets her big break, because we know from the previous stuff that she does end up as a Broadway composer, leaving Mason behind. All his scheming, all the murdering, all sabotage, and everything he does doesn't help, because in the end, he sacks. You can't murder your way out of being terrible at your job, is the moral of the story. But before that happens, we will still have 3 more chapters to complete the story, right? There will be more. There will be more. Now it's Mason, and he no longer has his henchman Todd, and it looks like Cassidy is on the way out. So how will he cope? He will have to start getting his hands more and more dirty. I guess we'll see. We'll see, but we will see that on the stream tomorrow, because as I said, I'm gonna wrap it up after that one. So I hope you've enjoyed today. I hope you've enjoyed more of the theater drama and scheming and all the things they are getting up to. So thank you all for coming to the stream. Thank you for chatting. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for liking the stream if you've enjoyed. That always helps the channel. And yeah, I hope you have a good rest of your day, your evening, whatever time it is for you. And as always, thank you to the members for supporting the channel. So bye-bye, and hopefully see you in the next stream.